No, yeah, for sure.
No, I feel you, yo.
It'd be like that for real.
But the track, but the
first time.
Yeah, but your tracks are on everything though, right? Like the two tracks are on everything. Same.
Yeah. Except for YouTube Music, like they're uploaded to the YouTube channel, but like actual YouTube Music, they'll be on there.
Who uses YouTube Music?
My parents.
Okay. What a quick answer.
No, seriously, they're the only one. They're texting me like every week, like, "Can you send me your songs?"
There's
Nah, same ones, ma.
There's mad different platforms that like people use that I've never heard of before. Like when I be uploading my shit,
It's
it'd be
crazy,
like,
I know.
They'd be like, "Do you want to upload the Deezer?" I'm like, "Who uses Deezer for real?"
What is Deezer? I've never even heard of that.
It's another one. It's another like platform or Amazon Music and shit. I could see why you would use Amazon if you got Prime. Like you might as well.
Right. My friend just texted me and he was like, "Hey, just to let you know, you're in as the bosses on Amazon Music." I was like, "God
That kind of describes you though, for real. You are the boss.
the bosses." It's so cringy. We got to talk about the name. Remind me if
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. First, I want to know. I mean, I know the answer to some of these questions, but for the people, what made you want to start Bosses?
Okay, so I've been playing music my entire life since I was like 5 years old, and I mean, I don't really know what age. Probably like 9 or 10 or something. I was 9 when I started playing the guitar, and I think it was around that age that I realized like I want to be in a band. Like I love Blink-182, all the shit that was popular in the 90s growing up. So I've always wanted a band as much as I wanted the music.
Nice.
And it was just like one fizzled out project after the other. Essentially, like I played with so many people in so many different states, and like it's been number one priority, but it's just it's fucking evaded me for my entire life.
Isn't that shit the fucking worst?
It's you know, I'm like super grateful and super happy for the way things have actually panned out, but it was painful.
Yeah.
I've had so many like crying conversations with my mom and my friends, and like even just this recording process, it was crazy. But it's like, it's kind of just like, for lack of a better term, and to make myself feel better, it's divine timing.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Love
To
it.
watch this shit. To watch this shit unfold. Sorry, these new fucking teeth got me drooling and shit. Still getting used to these gold teeth.
It looked great.
No, it's great to see all this shit unfold because we've had so many conversations about this, and even try to start a fizzled out project.
I know. As soon as this gets like level, I want to get back into that. I want to do it so badly.
Kevin, Kylie, Pedro, and Sweat Out.
Has Pedro gotten his guitar rig yet?
But hell
Let's
yeah,
go.
I remember like when I was a little kid, like that was the only thing I ever wanted to be too. You know what I'm saying? I realized I'm like other kids probably didn't play music when they were a kid. Like when I was a kid, I used to like play, like stand on top of the table, thinking I was performing and shit.
I love that.
And I was like, I always have wanted to do this shit for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I had my little amp in my beginner Epiphone SG. It would just be me in my garage and the guitar just screaming. No drums, no one else, just me.
Yeah, yo. When Lil Bow Wow came out, it was over with. I was like, yup, that's what I'm on for real.
Hey, Lil Bow Wow. You just don't know the way you move so fast. Something.
I don't remember any of Lil Bow Wow songs, but
What's your favorite songs when you was a kid? Like what songs like made you
influence you on each
I
other?
don't want to say that. I was just saying that like when you was a kid, like stuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
what ages are we talking about?
I'm talking about let's say when you first able to like have your own favorite songs and shit, and just not shit your parents listen to. Know what I'm saying?
Shit, what was the first? I mean, it was pop. I really loved Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, like all that shit. Who else? Fuck. My dad had a really, really good taste in music and like always had a very expansive CD collection and was always playing it in the house. I remember loving like, I loved Wicked Game by, is it Game or is it Games?
Games, I think.
Games, and Wicked Game is The Weeknd.
Yeah, I was about to say The Weeknd.
You're talking about Chris Isaac.
I love both, but
Song
The
Still.
song from
Yikes.
what show is it from?
Wasn't it True Blood or
Is it
something?
the True Blood song?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not
What a
familiar.
wicked thing to do.
Oh,
that song.
Okay, we're talking. I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't know it was in.
That song
Anyways,
is
it's
a
in,
fucking banger.
It's in not True Romance. Is that?
True Blood.
The Lynch film.
Oh wait.
What is it that I'm thinking of?
I can't remember. I just know it slaps.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
That's all I can say.
I'll probably remember like half hour into it. And I'll
Yeah,
circle
right?
back
Well,
what my favorite song was as a.
When it pops in your head, you got the floor.
Yeah.
David Lynch movie?
Yeah. Is it True Romance? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah.
Bailey's our movie
With,
aficionado.
wait, is it Nicolas Cage?
Who is?
Bailey.
Oh yeah, true.
I try to be.
Lorna.
About to say it's not me.
I'm capping a lie. I haven't seen that movie. I've only seen a few of his movies, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
That one is not available on, like, you cannot find it unless you own the DVD, because me and Jen always want to watch it. And we have like a weird inside joke with that song to Wicked Games, and it's in the movie, and it's like a whole thing.
Facts,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I fuck with David
Yeah.
Lynch.
Hell yeah.
Where are you from? I feel like we should have started
yeah.
there first of all, especially before we ask about
Okay,
like your musical influence and stuff like that. Where are you from? Where are your origins? Tell us all about it.
Boise, Idaho.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that for real.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Oh, party
Some
over
of y'all
here,
might
and sit
be
over there.
listening. This is a beautiful gal right here. It's definitely not giving that. So yeah, that was a surprise. Let's go. Period.
Yeah, I got out when I was 17 though.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
for sure. Cool. You went straight to Chicago?
No. Okay, so let's condense this. I graduated high school a year early. I moved to Tucson, Arizona when I was 17 with my first boyfriend. And I've had my parents' support, like, very, very much so. Not monetarily, just emotionally, since I was like,
That's love.
they're really,
Yeah.
they're fucking, my mom is a fucking saint. My dad and my stepmom, they're cool. We disagree on a lot of things, and like, especially when I was that young, the way my mom chose to raise me. But anyways, I moved to Tucson for like 8 months with my first boyfriend. Obviously it blew up. I was 17, he was 20. So I had wanted to move to New York forever. My dad's side of the family is from New Jersey. He and my stepmom actually ended up moving there when I was like 15, and my brother and one of my stepsisters went with them, and then 3 years later, me and the other stepsister ended up there. So they had moved to Jersey at that point of us moving there. They were in Long Island, in Long Beach. So it was really close to the city. Like, I got a job in the city immediately, and then got my own place in Brooklyn after about another 8-month period. It's been is it?
I don't know. You're talking about, what is this, 18 that you're talking about? Yeah, like what?
I couldn't do that now at 35.
No, that's why I like to reiterate. Like, I really had my parents' support, and like, I didn't just fucking move to New York on my own. Like, I was able to crash with them while I got my job in the city. I was staying in Long Island. And then I spent like a few months, actually, I'm just remembering this now, in the city. My brother was already there, and he was like, you can come stay at this apartment I'm staying at. I like slept under his painting table. And if anybody knows Brooklyn, it was in the McKibben Lofts. They're like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
Wow.
this was like 2010, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, back to it. So after 6 years, I started feeling a little crazy, and like I felt stagnant with music. So I was also like taking a step back from drinking and like partying as much as I was. I was working in the service industry. I did for like 11 years straight, and I was just tired and exhausted and tired of like staying up till 5 a.m. So I decided I wanted to move to California. And I did. I moved to San Diego.
Sick.
It was cool. It was really cool, and it was like a great decompressing kind of place
For
to
sure.
be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. And then I started feeling very stagnant with music again. Tried to move to LA in 2021. I did. It was kind of like my things lived there. I ended up just spending most of that year in San Diego. I don't know if you know what it's like to dance in LA.
No.
It is fucking terrible. The laws are like, it is.
Gosh.
I haven't danced like a ton of places in the US or anywhere for that matter, but it's like known as one of the top worst places because the laws are different. It's like the gig law, that whole shit that happens. So like, you're forced to be an employee, and it's just this. It's. I could go on forever. It's fucked, and the clubs gouge you for money, and it's really, really difficult. And like, the way you make your money is way different, and there's only like 2 avenues, and it's just It was also probably a weird time, like coming out of COVID, because LA was kind of not behind with a negative connotation, but they were being very safe. So like, everything was, slower to reopen and slower to get busy again. But I'm glad I tried it, and I'm really glad I ended up in Chicago because it feels like I'm supposed to be here, and it feels fucking nice.
Welcome. Yes.
When you were coming up, like in all these places and trying music, excuse me, what were you trying to play? So my sound now is definitely the most like evolved and polished, for lack of a better word, than it's ever been. Yeah.
And I think it's also the most like authentic. But I've gone through a lot of musical phases, as we all have.
For sure.
There was a long time, and I don't music shame. I'm like, it's whatever. But there was a long time where I felt like I was like, I need to learn how to scream because I don't want to just sing. And that's always been another part of it. Like, we'll circle back to that whole kind of like duality of masculinity and femininity thing that I have, whether it's a complex or not.
No, I hear you.
It's a deep one.
I like where this is going.
I've spent my whole life trying to fucking articulate it, and it's still difficult for me. But anyways, what am I saying? Before that.
You were saying, I was asking you, what kind of music were you like trying to do?
Right.
Like,
Okay, so it was always like, I never intended to sing on whatever my main project and my first project was going to be. And for the longest time, I just wanted to play like straight hardcore. And then for the longest time, I just wanted to play like more like kind of funky, riffy, but like kind of metally, pulling from hardcore. There's this band called Black Hole. I feel like they're not very well known.
Where are they from?
Somewhere in the UK. So, you know Gallows?
yeah.
Gallows is like pretty big. The original singer, Frank Carter, it's his little brother is the singer of Black Hole.
Word. Damn.
They're so good. And they put out one album, and I remember like finding this album, I think through Pandora when I was my first year in Brooklyn.
Another irrelevant streaming service.
I didn't pay for it.
No, who does? I'll send to the commercial. It's all good.
Yeah, but it's very I think the word is like pentatonic, and it's just hard and it's fast, but it's like it still has an element of melody to it, even though it's like nasty. It's fucking it's really good.
This sounds raw. I definitely will check this out.
You should listen to it. The whole album is so good. It's called Dead Hearts, and it's so cohesive, and like just I still take from it, and I feel like I used to just play along with that album, and it really like so many albums refined my guitar skills.
Yeah.
Like just learning new things and like playing along with it and stuff. But but the sound I've wanted has definitely evolved. And then I've really always been like drawn to melody in one way or another. And I always wanted male vocals. Even when Bosses first started, it was just me. Well, I'm sure we'll get to that whole story in a little bit, but I envisioned like male vocals on it, but that's not what happened.
I'm glad that you did not do that.
I'm glad too. I'm realizing what an advantage and like what an upper hand it is because it's different, I guess. Like there's nobody, I mean, wow, that sounds kind of narcissistic, but I kind of feel like there's nobody
talk your shit.
that really
Period, I was just about to say. Talk your shit.
You know, I feel like it stands out for the time being.
I fucking love the songs you dropped so far. They're both total bangers. They're so
bangers
good.
here.
So proud of you.
Chef's fucking kiss. Okay.
So much. You guys have no idea what this means. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, as soon as I heard Overkill, I was like, podcast you now.
I remember when you sent me the text, I literally cry like every time I get a text like that from friends. I'm just like,
I remember we did the pod it dropped that Friday, and we were all talking about it like in our group chat and shit. And like, we were all getting ready at Kurt's house, just playing the song over and over again. And I was like, yo, when is she coming through? I think I asked you, but then like, shit shifted. So this has actually worked out very perfectly.
Good. I'm glad.
I was going to ask you, I know like with the new songs, you didn't drop lyrics with them, but like from
just did that.
Oh, you just did that? Oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I think they're on Spotify now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have Apple Music, so I'm
It's
still
okay.
They do?
Yeah.
I'm tweaking.
Okay, cool.
Me too.
Okay.
It's like really recent. It's like in the last few days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah, because you got to write all that shit out.
Yeah, that could have made for some great questions. So
we can go through it.
yeah, talk to me about Overkill and the inspiration for the lyrics.
It's really funny because like only a few people know what it's about, and I might tell you guys when we're done filming.
Okay.
I'm so tempted to
Trade
tell
secrets.
people. I am so tempted to tell people, but like overall, I just want them to form their own relationship with it, and
Yes.
especially somebody like my dad and stepmom would have a completely different experience with that song if they knew what it was about.
Yeah.
And I don't know. When I was making these songs, I always knew the third one that's about to come out in like a few weeks would be the music video song, but I was also tempted to do one to Overkill and kind of like depict what it's about. So I'm not going to tell you.
No, that's fine.
I
That's
will
fine.
wait. I will wait.
It's definitely
like,
it's
you can-
definitely like
yeah.
I feel you. I know that's like a very like boring question, but it's
No,
like
I love
like
the question.
lyrics are, you know, it's up to like the listener to
Yeah.
how they
I love to keep
the lyrics.
people guessing about
Yeah,
it. And like
yeah.
I honestly, I've been waiting so long to like do this and have shit and talk about it. And the fact that you guys are even asking me these questions is just so fucking nice for me. It seriously is. I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like a little kid right now. But I'll tell you kind of like where. Okay, so during COVID, I would wake up every day and I was like, you gotta, form some sort of new routine. And I'm a very routine oriented person, but like I kind of fell apart. And although I was like incredibly happy to not be working every day, I still felt like I needed to like have a very regimented day. So the first thing I would do when I would wake up, I would do writing exercises and I would write for like 15 to 30 minutes, like stream of consciousness, like where you're not supposed to stop writing, you're just supposed to continue writing.
Yeah.
And that always looks different. Like sometimes it's creative, sometimes it's just rambling, sometimes it's like really emotional. And I'm very inspired by like words themselves. So I kind of just had this whole collection, and then I would like go through the week after in one sitting and kind of pull what I liked, words I liked, or phrases I liked, or ideas I liked from that writing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. COVID was kind of just like my time. I was like, you got to do something. And that was kind of getting off track, but kind of relevant. I never recorded anything before this. And again, I've been in projects I've been playing my entire fucking life. Is it okay to say that?
Yes.
Wah, 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 wah. No, just kidding. This is not a family show. Please proceed.
We talk very spicy.
Raw, uncut, and real.
No, it's PG-13. So basically, I was like around the beginning of 2020, end of 2019, 2020, I had a project, like a full group of people. And I had the drummer and I think were like more on the same page. So we kind of broke off from the other two. And at the time of booking the session, I think I was like, we got to do this. Like, I got to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I got to do something. And then we were like, we'll probably be able to find other members more easily if we have something to show. So I booked the recording session, the first one, for June of 2020. I think I booked it in like April or something. I can't remember. But by the time that rolled around, him and I had cut ties. Like, we just had some disagreements with non-music related things. It was kind of heavy and sad because he was one of my favorite people, but like it was not okay for me. So I was alone.
Yeah.
And feeling
starting
very
over.
I felt like extremely vulnerable going into that recording session. I did actually have demos, like instrumental demos with my friend. Shout out to Sam. His project is called Ghost Pipes. He's one of my good friends from San Diego, and
Cool.
I would go over to his house and he helps me record the demo, so I had like something to show for the actual engineer. But it was a lot. It was a lot to do alone. It was a lot to figure out. I spent a lot of money
I'm already knowing,
you know all about it.
Yeah, it can't sound that crispy.
Anyone knows.
Without
Barry
some
knows
bread.
a part of that.
But I also like,
But
I
yo.
also like scrapped multiple things.
Yeah.
And the first engineer, I did like 11 sessions.
Oh, word.
That was just the first one, and then I re-recorded vocals, and I we can
No,
go back to that later.
No, I feel you.
Ask me a question.
That's why I
The
like.
lab.
That's why I just be recording by myself now, because like every time I go to the studio, I get my shit back, and I'm like, I don't like it.
So you'll just,
What?
No,
What didn't you like about?
man,
What did you not like about the first? I mean, you don't have to talk too
No,
spicy
I
about
love
this.
it. I
Okay.
love talking about it. It's like maybe therapeutic for me.
get it out, sis.
It's cool, and I think if anybody else is going through this, it could really like make a difference for them. So I didn't really know what I wanted, like not having, I knew the guitar tones. I knew that inside and out. There were days where we would just, I remember this literally 7 hours of the session, of the 8-hour session, we worked on like this one guitar line that's like half of the verse in Windburn. And he was like, visibly just like so frustrated and so annoyed. I mean, he was so patient, and all the engineers have been so nice and like good with me. But he was just like, all right, if this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. But yeah, what did you say? What didn't I like? Okay, so the first mixes I got back, I didn't feel like the vocals hit. They just didn't hit. The instrumentals were there. But his name is Alex, and he's at Sun 6 Studio in San Diego, and he's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, you traveled to do all this shit.
No, I was still living there. This started
Oh,
in 2020,
shit. Damn.
and Zach
Okay.
and the fifth engineer just fucking finished them in what, like September? Or
Yeah.
right
Damn.
Yeah. Other people's time, I hate that shit. It's like, send me my songs, man. That's why I be having to get my
That was
file. I be having to get my whole project session on the hard drive when I leave. Yo.
To be honest with you, that was a very small part of it. It's mostly me. It's mostly my absolute fucking perfectionism, insanity, scrapping things, doing them over. So Alex had told me, he was like, I don't, if you want to work with somebody else, I can like point you in the right direction, or I'd be happy to do this like vocal layering and all that shit. He was like, this is not my strong point. And I was like very resistant to working with somebody else because he made me feel so comfortable, and we had formed such a good rapport. And like, I love him, and I love his work, and I think he's really good at what he does. But eventually when I got the mixes back, he was just like, no, you're not happy. Like, I'm not the right person to do this. You need to move on. So I found I figured it would be good to go with somebody who kind of like had a pop oriented, because as you can hear, like my vocals are kind of shoegaze-esque, but they're not as drowned out.
I was just about to say that.
Punch.
Yeah, exactly.
As
Just about to say that.
learning more about what I wanted. So Alan, I'm forgetting your last name, Alan. If you watch this, I'm sorry, but if anybody, he is in the LA area now, and he's phenomenal. Very, very good at what he does as well. We re-recorded the vocals, and he did like partial mixing. And then I sent them to, he didn't feel comfortable mixing the instrumentals because they weren't really in his wheelhouse of what he does. So I sent it to somebody else, and I realized, I was like, I don't think you're really the right fit. This guy was in Portland. And I had the opportunity to like, this is a whole other story. I'm going to try to condense this as well.
Very good.
No, you were here to talk to you.
We
Talk
are.
your shit.
We want to hear your whole story.
This is not an interview. We're just
being
talking.
nosy. Tell us.
Give us the tea, baby.
Very tea. So
I'm a fool. I'm sorry. Please continue. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. Okay, so I was in another band, and this is kind of another like way that I was pushed towards Chicago. I think you know about this, and maybe you, but I don't remember. I was in another band. We never really like got going. It was kind of just like a toxic. I'm gonna say the word. It was a very toxic like friend situation. It was weird. But I was like, I believed in that music. I thought it was fucking amazing, and it is. It holds up. But I was like, if I go with this guy, I can put more money into this project because I make the most money out of all the band members. It's fucked up. But I mean, it was one last life lesson that I had to learn in that arena, and I'm glad that it happened. But it also did push me towards Chicago. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So like I had the guy who mixed that stuff. I had him do a few runs, and then he ghosted me. Yeah.
Have you been through the fucking ringer?
Yeah, it's been really hard, really isolating, really sad. Really cool that I have this experience to talk about now. I'm just fucking blown away that I'm here and it's out and I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I have a lineup that's fantastic. But so let's talk about, before we go on real quick, Zach Montez. Zach Montez is an angel. He's amazing. He's done stuff for Nothing and Cloakroom. And I was hooked up with him through my friend Joe, who does a podcast called Musically Meditated.
Okay.
Yeah, so Zach finished everything up. Really, like, he essentially did like all the mixing on the vocals. I feel like a lot of things didn't transfer over from Alan for some reason, or it was just like wonky with the mixes and stuff. I don't know. But Zach really, really, like, that's where the holy shit production value comes in. It's all him. Like, he's fantastic, and I'm hoping to eventually learn under him, because it's something I realize that I need to do. I'm like, my ears are so crazy. I'm like, I can be at a certain caliber for this. I believe I can, and it would just be really helpful if I could do it for myself.
No, yeah, you definitely can for real. Just watch YouTube. That's how I learned.
Yeah. If anyone can teach you how to do it yourself, Perry can. I do have a question for you though, because literally woman to woman, because this is such a male-driven industry. Like, I'm hearing you tell the stories, and you're dealing with a lot of males. It's going into it when you're first starting. Like, how are you dealing with? I guess you're dealing with, not to call them strange men, but like, this is like your baby. This is your craft. Like, how do you get, I guess, over the hump, or how did you, or have you overcome it? Like the hump of working with like strange guys and putting your craft in their hands to help you make your vision come to life.
So, I think I have like a few different points to this question. And this is starting in on the whole masculinity, femininity thing. I've always chosen to play music with all males. And that's not a closed door at this point in my life, but I do enjoy a level of masculinity, especially like in my life, but especially through music. And whether it's healthy or not, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's like,
I feel that.
It could be very ego driven. Like, I have something to prove after, like people I love have asked me this question too. And I'm not trying to knock them. Like, I say stupid shit to other people too, but after getting asked your entire life, like, oh, what do you play, bass?
Right, okay, because let's fucking talk about it. Wow. Yeah, you nailed it on the head. Because, let's really talk about it.
Right, and I just want to say, like, I hope it's obvious I'm not knocking anybody of any gender expression that plays bass, and it takes fucking talent to play bass, but it's the connotation of me not being capable of playing, of being any real part of the music. And
absolutely.
So, and I mean, just that in general. And I feel like throughout my whole life, I've had, even with like bartending, I don't give a shit about it, but I was really fucking good at it. And I made like really cool cocktails, and I never got any recognition. And I still have dudes in the San Diego bar scene. And I'm sorry if you're one of these people who's texted me and you're watching this. I love you, but I'm just sensitive. I'm salty. Like, people ask me like, hey, can I get your specs for this cocktail? I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
Because I never got recognition, and like, again, as healthy as you are, and as much as you try to have like a not giving a fuck and like an enlightened point of view and lifestyle, like, I'm still a human, and I still have a fairly strong ego, and like, I do keep it in check, but like, it's just hard sometimes. And I think that plays into being a woman as well in all industries.
Yeah, for sure. That's
real shit.
Yeah.
So what is it? Meeting ego with ego, maybe? Like, Again, because like you're going to these spaces that you haven't been, and it's like I don't know. There's a certain amount of vulnerability, and like if you don't like it, is it really difficult? Like, do you think that they're not taking it serious? Like,
okay, this is also gonna
I'm also really sensitive, so I'm sorry.
What's your sign?
Gemini.
Gemini women, not Gemini men. My dad. Sorry. Not in general. Just to date and to be fathered.
I'm a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus too.
Yeah, that's why we get along. I love this. I'm so sorry.
Listen, I love Geminis. I do. And I don't even believe in astrology all that much. But like, it's funny where the patterns are. All my serious relationships and my dad are Geminis. And like, we need a support club.
Okay, period. That part. Yeah, that part. But yeah, is it like meeting ego? Maybe sensitive. With like ego, just so that like, I don't know, so they don't little girl you when you walk in like, okay, this is my first session and I'm like going to try to work with you. And like, if we don't get what we came here to get and I still have to pay you, like, I don't know. I'm really nervous about this. I ask Perry about this all the time. This is my first time being able to ask a woman, like starting to go into like, you know, recording sessions with like these engineers. I don't know that you don't necessarily know.
Are you starting
No, I don't.
okay,
Not at all. This is just me from the outside,
wondering
just trying
got
to.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I would be so nervous. I don't know.
I was incredibly nervous, and I have crippling social anxiety and performance anxiety, and like all of it. It's a lot to work through, and it was a weird time and everything. And I think that's why I really, really fell in love with Alex, because I was just like, you make me feel so safe and so supported. And if I started to like get in my own head or get flushed or get an accelerated heart rate because I kept fucking up or something or couldn't get this part, he just has this way of like speaking to you and making sure you calm down and feel okay, and nothing felt like infantilizing. I think I'm just lucky, I guess, with my experiences, and it might be different for somebody in like mainstream music, you know, which the lines are kind of getting blurred nowadays with, you know, Turnstile on a Taco Bell commercial, which also it like gives me hope that one day I can have fuck you money.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, maybe I'll get a fucking Grammy. But yeah, I have had really, really just amazing, gentle, positive experiences, and I don't know if that's luck or if it's just, you know, the people I was hooked up with through other people, or just how small I am. I'm not really sure, because I'm sure a lot of people have felt the opposite. And maybe with different genres of music too, it's different. Maybe it's like one girl and there's a ton of, or one femme, whatever. Like there's a ton of masks in the room, and maybe they're like, you know, you're not. I feel like there could be so many different situations, but I am very, very happy for my experiences.
That's great to hear. Yeah. I'm glad. I'd love to hear it.
Hell yeah.
You're listening to Echo
on 69.9 FVP.
Love After Dark.
Base Value Podcast After Dark.
Nice.
This is what I'm here for.
So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, when I first put that one on, yo, the mood of that shit, you know what I'm saying? They give you a whole feeling for real.
Absolutely.
Did you guys see what I wrote on the Spotify, just as kind of a placeholder about like
I don't have Spotify.
the buy or whatever?
Me neither.
Good for you guys. You're better than I am.
Everyone says that we're the whack ones.
I know, right?
Apple
That shit came with my phone. I never looked back.
Yeah.
Listen,
No, it shows
I
up in
buy a
Apple
lot of
Music,
merch.
though.
Oh, yeah.
I buy so much merch.
Relatable.
Facts.
Yeah,
Same.
I will pay for music soon. I promise. I know it's terrible. I put fucking, what does it say? Highly emotional, or heavy, atmospheric, and highly emotional, something like that. I was like, that's the best way I can describe this right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are the words I have available to me.
That's a great segue for what I was
Yeah.
gonna like talk to you about. Is the reason I like your shit so much is because like I would never want to pigeonhole you, but like it does like give off shoegaze for sure. I feel like I don't mean to do that to you because that's kind of like a lazy way to, you know, a lazy genre to put a lot of music under. But I like how ethereal it is, and I like how I mean, I love the vocals just being like clear and like not drown the fuck out, and the guitars being heavy but not like overly loud like most shoegaze. What and I know you work.
Use a fez pedal.
Okay, good.
No, I will eventually, but in a very deliberate manner.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I
for
still,
sure.
Like I like that clean distortion.
I just wanted to like let you know I like that you didn't go like the stock like My Bloody Valentine route. That you like really made it your own, which is sick. What made
thank you.
What made you want to like go that lane? Was it just like hearing a lot of that shit? Because like I will say like a lot of like you being like growing up in hardcore, and like a lot of us like get into the shoegaze and alternative and these different genres. Some of this shit is very hardcore adjacent, and that's I mean of course that is the thing with us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What made you want to like go that route?
Well, to give a little to backtrack just a tiny bit. So the last like full project that I had in the like late 2019, early 2020 time, I was like, I want to do riffy stuff again. I was like, let's do fucking harder. I want to play harder. And I still would love to be in a band where I will eventually just play guitar and don't sing, and I'm just fucking having a blast.
Yeah.
And it's really heavy, but I wasn't creating. It wasn't coming out.
Yeah.
It wasn't sounding good. I wasn't liking it. And I had a perfect counterpart guitar-wise, another guitarist to like write that shit with, and he's so good. But it was feeling like really staged, and I just wasn't really able to like solidify any songs. And when I would get close, I would be like, this sounds like shit. And then towards the end of that project, actually, this is a really cool memory that's coming up now. What was I going to say? So that guitarist was like, it seems like you're coming up with most of this stuff. You should kind of take the lead. And I was like, okay, because like you're more talented than me. And in my mind, he was. And then that was kind of the first time I was like, okay, yeah, and just kind of getting more into like I don't need to just like join somebody else's project.
Excuse me.
And I remember the day that I wrote Overkill, or like the first like that little transition to like the what I call the chorus, like the heavy part where it has the like phasey. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. I like this a lot. And we were still in like, I think we were still practicing in like an hourly space. We didn't even have a practice space. But sorry, I'll get to the point.
No, you're good.
I remember just feeling really good about that. And I think it was like right around the time where I just kind of started to like gain more confidence in myself and be like, maybe you should just honor what comes out. Maybe you should stop trying. Even if you want to play harder stuff, maybe you should stop trying for right now. Revisit it at another point in your life.
That's got to be the most difficult thing to do.
Oh yeah. Also to say, I think
as any kind of creative person.
It sucks.
Ever and anything,
but it's great.
It's great when you finally figure it the fuck out. You know,
I be feeling like it's a maturity thing for real. Like as you get older, like you be having shit you got to get off for real. Like when I was in my 20s, I wasn't talking about shit. I ain't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
You think you know?
What I'm saying. But once I've been through some shit, I'm like, I can't say that over this. You know what I'm saying? I got to really get my shit out. Your sound become like more refined and shit. And like you said, you recognize like what you good at. You start thinking about like what you good at.
I was like, I didn't even know where it was gonna go. I was just like, just. I also have another complex about things being too simple, which is very detrimental when you're trying to write things.
Another fact.
Another
and that's
hard
also fact.
Something that kind of came through in bartending, and that's why I feel like I was so fucking good at like. I hate talking about like cocktails and stuff because it's so fucking douchey.
No, we can talk about it. We can relate it.
Yeah, and some people,
we can relate it.
But like, I had a knack for this is relevant. I promise. I had a knack for putting things together that you would think don't go together.
Yeah.
And making them blend really well. And I feel like I kind of get off on that in my life in general, in all aspects. I love doing that. And I love doing things that have duality, like something really aggressive, but something really soft. And that's, so when I was writing these songs on this EP, it wasn't really like I'm choosing to do this. It was just like, you got to do something.
Yeah. And
I remember like, God, I wish we got to do this again. But I wish the third song was out because I mean, I can still talk about it, but it's just like, it's different. Having, maybe you've heard it.
I haven't heard it.
Have you not? Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
You're
I'll play it for you guys.
Supposed to show it to me.
I thought I sent you all three. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Pause the camera. Right.
So, yeah, you gotta play that bitch for real.
I will. I'm really excited about that one. So it was just I remember like having the date set to go record the demos with my friend Sam, and I still didn't have like the verse written to song 3 and whatever, or like just instrumentally. I was like, just do something, just fucking do something.
Yeah.
And I did, and then I was like, it's fine, it's very simple, it's fine. Build on it, and also this is really important too. 2020 and COVID was kind of the time when I was like, all right, you gotta figure out pedals. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
I found the JHS pedal show on YouTube. He's great, and he really like explained it in a way that is very like, I don't know, it's just really structured. If anybody wants to learn about pedals, his channel's fucking great.
Word.
And I was also able to kind of like, get the unemployment money and like buy
Wasn't
a
it
pedal,
beautiful?
abuse Amazon. I hate that I use Amazon in the first place, but like everything we do is fucking terrible.
Listen, right? Everything. Even breathing.
Yeah. But I was able to like keep one for a month and send it back, and then my grandpa died, and I got like a very small amount of money. That sounds terrible, but he's in a better place. He lost his mind. It was really sad. But like I got like a small chunk of money. I got like $1,000 from my mom, and I was like, oh, that's sick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much, Mom. I didn't know that was happening. I never expected that. But it was like I put everything I had into pedals, and I think my tone is getting there. I'll never be happy with it, obviously, but like I'm learning.
You will. You'll figure it out eventually.
I still don't. I honestly don't I don't know much about guitars. Like I'm still fucking ignorant about gear, but I know that my jazz chorus works very well for me as a clean slate, and I'm still using the OCD, which also full tone is canceled, for a good reason. And I'm trying to get a pedal that has that perfect distortion sound, and it's not perfect. Sometimes it can be too whiny, but that might be my Gibson with the high
Yeah, you got to find the balance.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
Which takes fucking forever, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's someday I will just have that money or sponsorships.
Yeah, let's go with the sponsorships.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Old Blood Noise.
We're asking for sponsorships here. Okay, we're starving artists. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy creatives though.
For it.
Yeah, Face Value Podcast, we want to sponsor too. Whenever y'all are ready. Hottest podcast in Chicago. Anyway,
shameless self promotion.
So the name Bosses. I see you having like a self-titled.
Okay, so listen, there is album artwork that kind of depicts what I'm about to tell you. Jen did it. My best friend Jen. I should know her socials to plug her. She's an amazing artist. I could do it later.
We'll drop her.
We'll drop
her in the caption.
You guys should just have her on. So, Bosses came, my ex-boyfriend and my very good friend, Adam, he's like my number one fan, and it's really validating. He played a lot of video games, still plays a lot of video games. He's very into it. And he was describing something to me once about like, boss is this, boss, you gotta like get past this boss or whatever. And I was like, or he was just describing to me what bosses meant. I don't know.
Yeah, like
and
the
I was
boss.
like, that's
to
cool.
get to the next phase.
Yeah,
Beat the boss for real.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a really cool name for a band. And he's like, that's a really cool name for a solo project. And it's funny because that's what it ended up being. Not that it is now, but like how Bosses started. And I honestly kind of thought I would just put this shit out and like keep this as a stereo project and maybe have like different guest male vocalists. That was like my idea for it before I got my members. But I've really fallen in love with everything about it. And I probably on stage will just be careful about my wording, like, hi, we're called Bosses or something, because it is really cringy. Like, we're bosses. Like, I hate the punniness of it. I didn't intend for that to
What's up, motherfuckers? We're bosses.
But I'm attached to it. I'm totally attached to it.
Yeah. It's tight.
Wait, could you hand me my phone real quick? I want to show you guys.
Yeah, show us. Now that you explain the name, though, I love that.
Yeah, that's it.
So much.
I didn't even think about that.
Yo.
I didn't think of it in that bad, like, you know,
that
like,
go hard.
Bosses, but
I think you were just talking about managers and
like,
shit.
motherfucker talk about video game characters and be like, oh, he a
That's
boss.
so sick.
You know what I'm saying?
Because everyone can relate to that. I don't know.
Okay, so
There's
I'm going to
some
tell you what the
old
EP
school
is called. I don't know if I can call it an EP. I'm ignorant about that too. I call it that because demo makes me think of like a shitty
Well, look, I'll tell you.
demonstration.
Isn't that
No,
what
yeah.
you give
This
to the label?
definitely feels like an EP.
I'll,
You know, it's my
definitely,
first
I'll
thing.
definitely tell you the difference between EP and an LP, because an EP is only 45 minutes long, because
The LP is like
LP is a
extended-
whole record.
Okay,
It's a whole
yeah.
record, you know what I'm saying? The
It's so-
EP
I'm
is the
so-
small record, you know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
only hold 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's why I put an EP out, because the motherfucker only hold 45 minutes on it. You feel me?
What's an LP?
The big record. What is it?
Oh, this is gonna be.
I don't know how many. I don't know how long it is.
it.
With the
Jimmy,
first
how
one.
long is a record?
I want to say, I mean, it's, again,
That's tight. I like
it
this.
is about time for
I like the name.
Yeah.
Right? I know.
Where
it's
is
very-
Gus
that's the
at?
duality again. Like,
EP is 45 minutes. I know that.
we had a whole conversation about
maximum.
What's the gaming system gonna be like?
35, to be honest.
35,
Jen did
something like
the
that.
art. Jen did the art.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, let me see that.
I have like she did it on wood, like it's with me
Oh,
forever,
sick.
and yeah.
Also
So-
shouting out this, I'm so sorry,
That's
the
okay.
art fair. Jen is also
Yeah.
throwing that art fair that I'm doing on Sunday,
Sick.
along with Sean.
Hell
So
yeah.
I didn't
And
even
the
know.
game will be on too.
Yeah, I didn't know that Harley knew Jen like that, but yes,
Jen is my
also.
best friend and my
I love that.
platonic life partner. We moved
is.
here.
Attached
from
at the hip.
California.
Wait, so
Yeah.
before we get too far off the name, why'd you decide to keep it a self-titled?
Okay, I didn't. So that's what I'm gonna tell this. Like it's not out yet. It doesn't. I was about to release this all like that on its own, and I had again another like divine timing thing happen where my friends in this band from California came and I was like, "Do you want to crash with me?" And they were like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So they were kind of talking me through all this, and they were like, "You cannot do that. You cannot." As a new artist, just drop all this shit together without any visuals. Like, yeah, you have the album artwork, but no, you can't do that. So they convinced me to do a music video for the third song that's coming out very soon. I'll be teasing it very soon, and I'll be announcing the release date probably in the next week or two. So I learned a lot about like how you should release things and like the waterfall strategy and all this shit. So this visual, this like the red kind of thing, it's kind of become a theme now. It's cool. That was just like a random picture that I took on a disposable of the aftermath of the music video. And it's cool because you can't tell what it is, and it looks kind of like haunting, kind of sexy, or like what's going on here. But the name of the EP is Jokes.
Sick.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny because it's so fucking emotional and so serious sounding. Which I love, you know. It's like this is like my inner dialogue. This is what's going on in my brain. Even though I don't appear like that. But Jokes definitely like stuck with me. I remember having this line. This is kind of depressing, but just like in my, you know, pages of writing, like I feel like a joke. I feel like a fucking joke. I feel inadequate. I feel ugly. I feel this and that, and like all this like all these self-deprecating kind of, or just struggling with like self-worth and self-image, and it just was something that stuck with me. Like I feel like a joke, and so I kind of tried to like just turn that around and You know, I don't know.
No, I feel you.
And then again, yeah, the duality is a big part. Like how playful the image does not go with the music at all, and that's very deliberate.
I do love the duality approach.
Yeah.
Like that is very sick, and I like that you keep it consistent too.
Yeah, it's I gotta do
see
it.
what you're
it's
doing.
in the fiber of my being.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I can relate.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're gonna be playing guitar and singing live, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Why is that unfortunate? I feel like that's the most difficult thing ever.
Yeah,
And it's
that's why it's over.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's why it's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the difficult
so-
shit ever.
It shows your talent right away because it's not an easy thing. It looks so simple and so, you know, standard or whatever, but to see someone do the vocals and play guitar at the same time, that's not regular. That's not like a
Yeah.
cakewalk. It's absolutely difficult, and you have to pay attention to both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
especially
respect.
with,
I respect it.
pedals changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo.
I'm sure it'll become, you know, anything becomes muscle memory, but at first I'm just going to be. So I played like 5 shows in my life. Like very small, nothing.
Good for you, man. For sure.
It's terrifying. I recently learned about beta blockers. If anybody knows what that is, I'll probably be.
Wait, what is that?
My brother-in-law just told me about this. I think, so I researched it, and I think the most common name is propanolol, something like that. It literally like blocks the physical reaction of nervousness.
Oh, for real?
So like you might still be in your head, but you're not going to be hijacked by your nervous system, which is what happens to me so often. Like I don't do karaoke. It's weird because I love performing, but I think it's just so much built up like time of not doing it, because you're talking to somebody, you know, I get on stage and I'll show my butthole to an entire room of people.
Listen.
Give me yeah, like I love it. I love performing, but this is just so terrifying. And even if I'm just so excited and I want to do it, like I can't help the reaction. And I'm such a sensitive, like anxious, emotional person that it takes me a really long time to calm it down. And I do fucking breathing exercises.
Hell yeah.
I do so much and so often psychedelics, and like I try to like bring myself down to a grounded position, but it's just difficult. And this obviously means more to me than like means the most to me out of anything I've ever done.
No, for real, it's literally always like that, yo.
Yeah,
Before every show, I get nervous as hell, for real. Like Bailey be coming up to me playing and shit. Like, you ready? I'll be like, Bailey, stop.
Like, I'm
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But like once you get on stage though, it all go away. Like you
I
will feel.
hope so.
For me, it would
literally-
always be the first song or
fucking
two,
hope
and I'm in
so.
there. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real. Like I done played hundreds of shows. Like
We had this conversation
soon as you get
very-
on stage, like forget all of that shit. Like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
It's different, you know, because people are up there with me, but I think it would also be less scary if I was not the front person. Like if I wasn't singing, if I was just playing guitar, I'd be like, okay, I can focus, I can like get wigged out a little bit, but still like do the right thing. But I just all the moving pieces in conjunction with like how my voice reacts when I'm nervous, it shuts off. Like it's shaky. I can't stay on tune. It's literally like that's what happens. So if you are at the first few shows and I sound like shit, please don't record me. just stop.
You won't. That's all I'm trying
But
to
it's
say.
okay. It's okay. It's
Soon
not
as
the
you
end of the
get,
world.
soon as you get up there, yo, like
I hope.
halfway through the first song, you'll be forgetting that you were even nervous in the first place. For real, you know what I'm saying? Like I still get butterflies
see.
every single time.
We'll see.
Still, damn.
Hell yeah. I be worried I'm gonna forget my words. Like I done forgot words on stage before and be like,
Yeah.
shit.
I'm like, it could end up being an instrumental set, you guys. Like,
Well, at least
like-
the instrumentals are good.
but
so.
also, okay. So the other thing is, there's 3 guitars. There's always going to be 3 guitars.
Okay, cool.
So I'm very careful about like, you know, delegating parts and what's easiest for me to do. And then there's some parts where me and Marcus, like, apparently it's annoying to have a song in 3/4. Marcus gives me so much
Yeah.
shit about it.
His ass.
I didn't know that, and I didn't need to write it in 3/4. It just happened.
That's like dance hall and shit, like reggae and shit. Being 3/4.
Yeah, I think it's something I never really like. It's not at the top of my head. I don't think it, which is funny because I have a music theory background, but I don't. You know, it was when I was so much younger. I don't really think about that shit. Like when I hear a song, but. Yeah, so there's some parts where me and Marcus, like we need to play that together where he and I are locked in. I know it well enough, and I guess it's confusing for all the musicians to like play and like certain transitions. They're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I just.
What's your music theory background? Is it like band?
No, I've never played a wind instrument.
For real?
I've played violin. I did orchestra all throughout.
Oh yeah, we talked about this before. I played cello.
True, for real, y'all.
Yo, the string section going crazy in Boston.
Strings are pretty, but like they're also kind of cringy to me. And the violin, especially now, and so it's hard to explain.
No, I already loud and clear.
You know,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Niggas
Maybe
hit
it's
that
not
big
hard to
bass
explain.
and
Maybe
start
I just
popping
feel
that. Boom, 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 that shit.
Okay, the bass is cool. Yeah, so it started with the piano lessons though when I was really young. I'm really grateful for my parents. Not push like I was actually like kind of resentful with my mom for a while for not making me stick with something, but like she didn't want to raise me that way. She wanted me to have autonomy and do what I wanted to do, and that was very, very valuable in like becoming the person that I am today. But you know, I started doing like competitions and like light summer camp kind of thing.
Yeah.
I learned, I don't know if anybody else out there knows this, but I think it's pretty common. It's called the Suzuki method. It's like there you know, music books, and I got music theory 101 through that, like I think so it was like 5 to 9 years old, and then I continued on with like orchestra and choir in junior high and high school, and I was the only person that like got 100%.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Failed everything else.
A++ in the building.
I used to be in band forging my practice cards and shit. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm gonna write this shit.
What did you play?
I played saxophone.
Well, let's go.
I love
Very
sax.
I
sexy,
feel
my
like I
boy.
didn't know this. Perry's
Oh, for
my
real?
best friend. And I
You
feel
didn't know
like
that? Yeah, I play saxophone.
maybe I did know that, and I'm just like not
Quiet
thinking
memory.
straight now, but I'm
Look.
blown away.
Low key, like that shit will like pop up in my head, like when I'm making music and shit, or even just to even have like the terminology to even talk about, to communicate what I'm trying to say to the engineer,
At
some
least be
shit.
able to say minor and major.
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
4/4. Yeah.
Because like I'll be
tempo,
recording,
crescendo.
I'll be recording with people. I'll be like, he don't know how to count beats. He be like, hey, he a rapper. He don't know how to count beats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music theory is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, like motherfucker, like I'll be had to throw the auto tune on and shit. And like people don't know how to use the auto tune for real. You know what I'm saying? They don't know their keys.
Yeah, right.
You gotta know the keys to put it in there. You know what I'm saying?
At least, yeah.
How long would you say you've been doing music seriously? Like when it clicked and you were like, oh yeah, I feel like I have the ability to make the music that I want to make, and
It's kind of hard to say. It was just like there was never a question about it. Like from a really, really young age, I was like, this is what I'll do. Like I didn't even know as a dumb child that like people didn't have that drive in them.
Yeah.
You know, some people find out later, and that's great, and that's fine, and that's beautiful. But like, I just didn't even think about it, you know? And I remember my dad having this conversation with me when I was old enough to kind of register what he was saying. He was like, oh yeah, I changed my major like 3 times. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do.
Yeah. I always respect that when people say that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And he's a, you know, multifaceted, multi-talented person. He does a lot of cool shit, and I think that everybody should just explore. I feel like I'm getting off topic now, but
No,
you're right on topic.
Because like, yeah, that's what I be saying. Like, remember I told you, Bailey, I'm finna do a movie. I'm finna do a short film.
Yeah,
For real. It's
might
like, you're
as
not
well
limited to
type
like, I'm an
shit,
artist.
yeah.
I do hella shit.
we are
I just do-
creatives, you know. Like the world is our oyster.
You know what I'm saying?
So on the video note, the person who shot the music video, Tyler Cipriani.
Shout out to
I
my
should-
dog. Shout out to my fucking dog.
Tyler Cipriani.
We're all big fans, obviously.
Tyler and I were in that band together, and the reason why shit hit the fan with the whole friendship and everything is because Tyler and I hooked up the first. And we dated and everything. I told myself I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's fine.
I was going to be like, God damn it.
But people love to blame the harlot, the little tart that broke up the band. Listen, Tyler doesn't even own a bass still. And we had a new bass player the next day. Like, it's not.
Hey, don't talk spicy about my dog.
No, I'm not. I love it. Okay, so Tyler filmed the music video. And I love their photos and their video work and stuff, and it's amazing, but I was like blown away at the shots they got. And okay, so they don't know this, but I'm editing it now. So we had somebody set up to edit it, and he sent me like the first pass through, and I was like, no, I got to do this myself. And I kept waiting till I had more done to show Tyler and be like, look, I did this. And like, I think they're going to be fine with it.
Cool.
But I started editing videos like when I first started doing OnlyFans, and that was what I was comfortable doing. I would kind of just do like weird, like sexy, like strip teases to a song, and not that you're allowed to do that with licensing and everything, but I did it.
Period. We love to see it. We support sex workers over here. Fuck who's judging.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Whores all the way.
Period. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you do the horns, bro?
We still got to figure out what does what.
I like all of them. But yeah, so I've found a love for video editing through this. I've been doing it for the last like month, 2 months. I don't know. It's taking a long fucking time, but I've learned Premiere and I've learned all this shit. Like,
sick.
And I love dancing. I love all this shit. I'm trying to figure out a way to, not necessarily trying to figure out a way. I am waiting. I'm playing the waiting game to combine all these things together, and I think that I can, and I think that everybody can. And it's there's something to be said though for like sticking to one thing and giving 100% to one thing.
Yeah, if you could,
it's hard, but
you edit the video, you can mix music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It makes me feel like kind of cracked out, like I took an Adderall or something. When I video edit, I'm so into it. I'm so excited about it, and I can't stop. And that's a good sign, I think. And I'm like, maybe I could do this freelance if it pays me enough. I don't know. Like,
get your money.
Yeah, you could definitely, if you could get around that shit, you can definitely get around Logic on it, Pro Tools. And you know what I'm saying?
Right. I've used GarageBand back in the day. And
baby.
Shout out GarageBand.
Yeah, I tried to do Ableton. It was. I
Go
just
to
never
Logic.
gave it enough.
You know GarageBand, you know Logic. I was like, you know GarageBand.
I have it. I have the whole setup. I just haven't really gotten into it. But when I move into this new apartment, it has space for me to actually set everything up. And I'm
sick! You'll get a nice little office type shit.
Yeah,
hell yeah!
It's so cute. I'm so excited.
I love that for you, man. Yeah, create that creative space so you can get it all out.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's a good year. Really good year.
Well, Harley, man. It's been real. It's been so awesome having you on here.
Hell yeah.
So glad this finally fucking happened.
I know.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for talking shit with us.
Thank you.
Super talented. Love to even sit here and chat it up with you for sure. Because, somebody that I definitely admire, and I mean it.
Straight up. You're one of my
Same to all
favorite
of
people
you.
I've met since I've been in Chicago.
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm so glad that we that our paths crossed.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyler and everything.
Yeah.
I'm really, really glad that I know you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When do you want to talk about when you drop, or you want to, or we can?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about it. There's no reason not to, really. I was gonna start teasing it soon, like giving little clips of the music video, the third song, and so the release of the full EP. It's only 3 songs, but March 3rd.
Let's go.
Right up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
3-3-23.
Let's go. Period.
Hell yeah.
I love
And
the
then,
threes.
we're working on a lot of new stuff too. Like we're kind of getting into the groove of like building a chemistry. I mean, me and Marcus are like really solid, but with everybody too. I should say that. I'm sorry. Marcus Johnson, formerly Power Trip, currently Ghostmain. Dick Wong. Or wait, I'm not sure. I think it's Wong. Of Dead Son.
You know Dick?
Yeah. So, of Dead Son, and I think that's it. And then Sam. I don't know Sam's last name.
For sure.
Of High Diver. High Diver's
Cool.
fucking sick too. They're like a heavier audio slave.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, you should listen to it. It's really cool. They're all so talented. And Chris from Old Coke is their guitar right now.
Cool.
He's
Good
also
band.
actually him and his drummer from Old Coke are revamping Sleepwalk, which I'm really
Sick.
about because I love Sleepwalk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, you got
they're
a
great.
little. You got a.
I got a little
lineup.
fucking, yeah. Our practices are so
pretty
efficient.
badass.
Yeah.
Like,
Woo.
they're so great.
Let's
and
go.
they're so encouraging and so sweet, and you should check out the other bands. They're fantastic musicians. They're so good, and I'm so fucking lucky to have them.
Shout out to
especially
Marcus. I love you,
Yeah.
by the way. I know you're gonna listen.
Yeah,
to this.
bring your
Really
motherfucking
making
ass
it.
up here, nigga. trying to get Marcus on the podcast for 3 years.
I know.
Next
He was
time.
supposed to come to this one, and I was like, "Yeah, we do start a little bit late." And he was like, "That's too late for me. Like, you can take 2 hours away from your cat and come hang out with your friends."
You can come hang out with
Motherfucker.
Opal, Marcus.
There's other
is a
cats on the
safe
planet.
space.
Pierre is not the only cat in the
We
world.
just love you, okay? And that's it, and that's all.
Do I have time to say one more thing about him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
I just feel like so I was playing originally with like members of Lurk, and I love Pedro. I miss Pedro. And I fucking love all of them, but timing wise and schedule wise, it just wasn't working out. So and Marcus like heard we met in the back room of the Nothing show at the Metro. That's how I met him. And then like I requested him on Instagram, and he heard a little snippet of something I posted of Windburn, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "It's mine." So that's how we got together.
Hell yeah.
But I was like, "I'm sorry, I have a drummer," and he was like, "Oh man." But then like a month later, we were just like talking about, you know, him maybe like kind of helping just propel us in the social realm and everything. And then Pedro was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about passing it off to him anyway." So. It's been really great, but what I wanted to say is Marcus is like, all of my band members right now are so supportive, but Marcus especially, I feel like he's like a core member, and everything after jokes will have him on the recordings. Because I just hired a drummer before to do everything. But he is so like, he's so careful about letting this be my vision.
Yes, he's
But
very good
also
about that.
adopting it as his own, and it makes me really emotional. I'm like, it's just like the sweetest, most mature, beautiful friendship and partnership musically that I could have asked for. And he's so like, he's just every time he introduces me to somebody, he's just like praising me, and he's also I can tell he's genuinely excited to be a part of it, and he like, loves the music, and like just having that room to kind of like have my pride, like I fucking did this. I started this, and also he really like supports, you know, kind of my story has been like a lot of bands dissolving because somebody was like, well, I thought we were gonna date or this or that. And but that's, you know, like choosing to play with all males. That's a big thing. And he's just like, I love that story, and I kind of love just like having this, holding this space for you at the same time, like making it. Marcus is a fucking gem, and I am so lucky to have him. And he is like, hey, listen, like you have my full commitment on this, and he's given up like, I mean, other potential huge opportunities to be in bosses, and that's a big sign that he believes in it.
Yeah, like we're joking and shit, but like Marcus, I mean, obviously that's like my brother, and like he definitely like. When it comes to just introducing people, just getting you set up, just making sure you're good. Like, I moved to Chicago, and I would not be doing as well as I am in Chicago if it were not for Marcus Johnson.
No, same.
And even in Dallas, you know, like. So I totally like everything you just said. I totally know exactly what you're talking about. So shout out to Marcus. Seriously.
A lot of people could learn from him.
Yeah.
And he's really fucking
Straight up.
talented too, obviously.
That part.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Y'all ready?